Howdy folks, I'm Keith Bowen. This is Hard Rock University, Montana, Claim C. This is the main access tunnel at this level. However, there's a shaft over there with a lot of dumps on it, so I suspect there may be a level below us. This has nice cool air coming out of it. I've climbed up the hill and there's some steep declines, virtually a shaft, at least 500 to 1,000 feet up the hill there. So I'm going to work my way into this tunnel, kind of marking distance as I go, as far as I can go reasonably safely, and see what I could sample. This appears to be the structure they were going after, because what little I've followed on this tunnel follows this structure. And grab my can of spray paint, a little sketchy from time to time. This is stuff where you just gotta keep an eye on the back, take my time. As you can see, it's got all this mineralized material, and there's your zone right there that they appeared to be following. Keeps on a going. Well, let me get in there a bit, mark the walls, and I'll do some more videotaping in a little bit. Okay, here's the 100-foot mark into the adit, and we're in some pretty sketchy ground because this has all been stoped, and I don't know if you can tell, those are taking a lot of weight. And right up there, it's come down and completely filled the adit. So I'm basically stopped here. There's no way I can access the ore body up there. I'd be a complete blithering idiot to attempt to do much sampling right here, except maybe pulling something from the floor. So what I'm going to do is work my way back out. See, there's an ore chute there. You can see this slab that's fallen right here. Now here, I'm back under rock all the way out to the adit. I mean, to the opening, the portal there. So I can get a number of samples in here. There's another stope right in there, and that's about it. Now up surface, it goes a lot farther than this, so I'm going to have to climb up the hill and rope off and take some samples from the top of some steep declines. That's going to be fun. I think what I'll do is I'll take 3 or 4 samples here first, run them through the crusher, see what happens. If nothing else, it's nice and cool right here. But as you can see, this is some really mineralized, lots of iron staining, pretty clear structure. So I'll go ahead and figure out where I want to take some samples and haul those out and check them out. This is the part I hate, going over the edge. Okay, so this appears to be the ore zone. So I've taken a chunk off the top there. Now you can lower a bucket to me. Okay, right about there, just snug it off. This whole chunk here seems to be loosening right now. Yeah, I got about 300 to 500 pounds loose right there. Now this where to, what I do is just pick that leg up. That's all I need to do. Just get it out of the way, let it go underneath it. But we prefer not to play that game if we can avoid it. See how easy that is to get up. Okay, go ahead and pull. So here we are at the end of the first day of sampling at the sea claim. Dinner's on the stove. Eva's kicking it in the shade. The owner has a chaise lounge here for whoever needs it. There's the tunnel. There's some workings there. More further up the hill. Looks like there's another working even further up that I didn't see last time. This is the structure they were following. That looks like a pretty good hole in the ground though. I'll have to check it out too. And so that's basically what it looks like. Pretty scenery. Warm day, over 90 degrees. And should be a pleasant night. Only the best accommodations for my other half. Now I'm up on the mountainside early in the morning. Sun hasn't come up yet. Well, if I was on the mountaintop it would be. But I'm trying to beat the heat. I got a lot of hiking of samples to do today. Since the tunnel only went in so far, I'm going to have to get the samples from the surface, and that's going to be a pain in the ass. So, starting here, we have some pits and trenching along the formation here. So I'm going to have to follow these up. Further up, there's some more substantial stuff, which I will be able to take samples at. Here I would have to move a lot of dirt to get to it, which I'm not willing to do at this point since the initial samples are not showing large quantities of free gold. So here I am further up on the hill. Up to here it's been kind of trenched and pitted on surface, but now it gets a little more serious. I'm going to call this single stole decline. That a single post like that is called a stull. S-T-U-L-L. And let me work my way down here a little. Apologize for the video quality if it sucks. I'm looking at my feet, not the camera. Now, here we have a situation where clearly they moved a lot of rock. Question is how much of it was rock they wanted to move. Again, my interpretation is that is the zone they were interested in. That's only about 16 inches wide there. Now, there may be, I mean, there's easy access down here, but there's a problem with that. This is something called a widowmaker, for obvious reasons. That is detached along those fracture planes there. It is just hanging there. And nowhere down there is safe from that. Because when it comes down, it's all going to go downhill. So that's a pretty big working, but it'd be awfully difficult to get to the zone. Again, at this point, I do not see the justification for the risk involved. To get to it safely, you'd pretty much have to start up here and bar that down, put in rock bolts and mesh to hold this all together, and then just keep working your way down. There, you can see that's a good straight fault plane. This is a good straight fault plane, and in between is garbage rock. It's just not reliable. And the way you'd hold that all together was with rock bolts. Drill holes in it, put bolts through it, and just reinforce it all into a single piece of rock. If you wanted to, you could even come from surface and drill all the way through and put a expanding head on this end and draw it tight or grout it together. You can also run a cable in there, pour grout, tension the cable, pour more grout. There's ways of doing it. They're all very time consuming and expensive. You could also just timber underneath that and support it. But anyhow, that's a nasty looking situation which I am not going to deal with. What I will do is I built a little work platform here, and I'm just going to take a sample of that. That will be safe, and then I will continue on to the next two, which are going to be even more fun, but no worse in terms of safety, just I'll have to rope off. Okay, folks, well, I'm going to try something different here. I'm up on the hill. I'm calling this anchor stope because they have conveniently left me a nice anchor up there. And you can see the mineralized zone. I'm going to have to rappel down to it to get below the soils. I'm going to have to do this all by myself. Eva's down in camp, but too high up on the hill for her legs to handle. So I'm just going to turn this thing on. I got it sitting on the dirt, and hopefully it will show my amazing accomplishments. You may call me a wussy, but I am going to chicken out here and go no further than this point right here. And I'm literally just going to kick that stuff right there. Hold on. Why is it just not being cooperative? Trying to get my balance here. that is adequate. And here's what I'm going to call the downstream prospect. It's got a mineralized zone here. Comes all the way across. No other real workings on it. There's a little trench over there. Looks like all the material from the hole or close to it is sitting right here in the dump. So it's not real exciting, but I'll take a sample anyway. Well, another successful sample extraction mission accomplished. So from the C claim here, it's time for me to get back and prep samples and everything. So far nothing's been real exciting, although there's arsenopyrite. I don't see a whole lot of free milling gold right now. But happy prospecting and keep it safe out there.